Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the last part of our show with our big title fights coming up. But first, we start with boxing over 3 2-minute rounds of action, matched at 71k. Would you welcome first into the blue corner, representing BNC in Nottingham, Ishtiaq Ahmed. Would you welcome his opponent into the red corner, representing Coventry MMA unit, Khaleel Ashique. Ahmed in the blue, Ashique in the red.
Huge atmosphere for this boxing bout and a big crowd in favour of Khaleel Ashique from the Coventry MMA unit. But good support from BNC Nottingham for Ishtiaq Ahmed as we go to 3 2-minute rounds of boxing.
Yeah, with these guys, it got a bit lively yesterday, again in the press conference. Khaleel Ashique coming out in a prisoner's uniform with handcuffs on, so he's not taking no prisoners today.
And as we saw before, the crowd like a bit of atmosphere. Nice duck there from Ashique. And I like it, you've got a roll and throw.
Oh yeah, timed that beautifully. If it had any more power, he could have caused some damage. And he's done exactly the same thing again.
Well, what he's doing, Shah, is allowing Ahmed to lead and throw that lead left, and he's just waiting for it to initiate and then ducking under it. And that's why Ahmed's starting to faint now, because he's realised both times I've initiated, he's come in and under. So Ahmed a bit more cagey now.
Yeah, no, he's caught a couple of those hooks now, right? And Ashique, he does. It's almost like comes in beautifully, just like Mike Tyson used to, on the inside of his man. Ducks under, throws the overhooks, and he's had success so far, and he just needs to carry on doing the same thing.
And for me, Ahmed, I thought he'd learned from that and was doing the right thing, feinting, trying to lure his opponent in. But every time he initiates, you feel he's under pressure and in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Ahmed seems like he's gassing. I mean, from the facial expressions there, I think he's been a bit overwhelmed by, like, you know, he's making the same mistake again. He keeps getting caught. You know, that's experience for you, or a lack of experience, should I say.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The gassing is not just, oh, there's the left hook we knew was going to come, Shah.
Yes.
We knew it was going to come.
It's happened again, and I mean, Ishtiaq Ahmed swinging wildly. He needs to time his shots now. I mean, he's been caught with that ducking of Ishtiaq, and he's, you know, with that overhand a few times now. And he's you know, Ashique's just doing the same thing. He's just biding his time. He knows his man's on the back foot, and he's just doing the same thing again, just swarming him.
Well, this is the thing. We mentioned about the fatigue factor setting in. Sometimes it's not just physical. When you're under that pressure, the mental fatigue works on your body as well. And I think that's what's happened to Ishtiaq Ahmed. He hasn't known how to deal with Khaleel. And as well as the physical pressure he's under, that puts him under the mental pressure.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I think that feeling out round for Ishtiaq Ahmed was, you know, certainly had to come. Luckily, he didn't eat enough punishment sort of for that fight to be finished. Khaleel Ashique just doing, you know, exactly what he's meant to be doing, which is like just biding his time, you know, and literally just he's had his man on the back foot. And it seems like Ishtiaq Ahmed, he's not really got an answer for that, you know, the weave and the hook that's coming on top. The only thing I can see is if Ishtiaq Ahmed decides to sort of bide his time a little, not swing as much, you know, time his punches a little, because all Khaleel Ashique is doing is just waiting for that hook to come through.
Well, that's the thing, Shah. What Khaleel is doing well is being patient, because I've seen this in novice boxers before, where if nobody's doing anything, you almost feel obliged to. Now, Ishtiaq Ahmed tried to feint, didn't he? Tried to wait, and he had none of it. So when it goes quiet again, he almost feels, I've got to come forward. Khaleel played the waiting game and said, I don't mind it. We're going to stay like this. We'll stay like this till you initiate. And I think that's taken Ahmed off kilter here, because he's thinking, right, I've feinted, I've moved, he still hasn't come forward. I better come forward. Yeah. And he's playing into Khalil's hands like that.
He is, and you know, there's a bit more movement now. He's trying to work off the jab. The good thing about Ishtiaq Ahmed is he's moving one way, then he's moving the other. So he's not really been a straight target. But unfortunately, as soon as he commits with the punch, he just leaves that punch there.
The danger for him going both ways now is he's been leaning into the left hand. But now, when he goes both ways, the danger is we saw there, Khaleel put that big right hook in. Yeah. And that will be his technically stronger hand from that orthodox stance. Yeah. So it's a dangerous game all round for Ahmed.
No, he's certainly taking risks. I mean, there's one thing moving in one direction, but when you're moving towards your opponent's strong hand, you know, you're looking to sort of like walk into danger, and that's exactly what Ishtiaq Ahmed is doing. You know, I like to see him follow that jab up with a cross, you know, and he needs to close the distance down a little, you know, moving. If he's expecting that hook to come from Khaleel Ashique, you know, keep your hands up.
That's a good point, Shah. When you mentioned about distance, he's seen what his opponent's capable of, but he's always stayed in the right range for him, almost like he's hypnotised. They're going back and forward in the range that totally suits Khaleel.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the fact that he's breathing really heavy, you know, he's almost spitting his gum shield out, and that's probably because of the pressure. Because Khaleel Ashique is, you know, he's not giving him room to move. As soon as he sees a gap, he's on him.
Nice little forearm there on the end of that last combination shot.
Yeah, not sure is that allowed, but you know, Khaleel Ashique now, I mean, he's slowed the pace down. You know, he's in control. He knows his man's on the back foot, so I think he's just going to time his shots. He's just going to carry on doing what he's been doing since the first round.
And now you see he's coming forward for the first time and feinting, and Ahmed just doesn't know how to take it. He doesn't know what to do. What he's doing is, and you see this happen to boxers, he's frightened to initiate because he's already waiting for what's going to come back.
Exactly. I mean, there's a case of just biting on the gum shield and keeping your hands up and your chin down and just working your boxing. You know, that's all they're here to work on. And you know, he's not doing justice to himself. I mean, I'm actually getting worried about the way he's breathing. I mean, you've got a medic in there at the minute. He's having a word with him, and I hope it's just a warning he's giving him. Because it's certainly not giving out a good sign to him, hence the reason why the medic's in there.
You're right, Shah, well picked up there, but as I said, I think that's as much the mental pressure as everything else, because whatever he's trying, when you mentioned about that, sometimes having to bite on the gum shield and literally just going forward, he's waiting, he's hesitant, and he's waiting for the response, which he knows is going to come as the hooks. He's got to change that distance, come in close, and just work hard and go for broke in a way. He's staying right at the range that Khaleel is so happy to operate in. Close that gap quickly, as you said, go for broke, and throw some of your own punches and see where it gets you.
That's right, because, I mean, the strongest point of Ishtiaq Ahmed, if I was to point something out, would be his jab, because he's throwing that jab, but the hooks, it's just hit and hope, unfortunately, and whether that's coming towards the body or the head, he's swinging wildly. I like him to time it, throw the hook, and bring the hand back again, because that's when he's getting caught. And even if he brings the hand back and he's covering up, at least he's not eating punches.
Exactly, which is, at the moment, it's he's between a rock and a hard place, really, in this third round.
I think it's safe to say Khaleel Ashique, he's up 2 rounds here, and Ishtiaq Ahmed needs that knockout now, otherwise it's slipping away from him.
Well, the thing is as well, our referee Clive Tennant will be aware that the medic was in the second round, so he'll be closely looking at everything Ishtiaq Ahmed does as well now.
Yeah, I mean, when the medics come in like that, don't rule out the referee stepping in, because with the guys taking a lot of punishment, health and safety is paramount, but at the end of the day, Ishtiaq Ahmed, he's still fighting back. And saying that, he's just throwing a big hook there. He's caught Khaleel Ashique there, but I don't think he's done much damage.
Well, the thing is, the medic picked up on what you were saying. The medic, I saw clearly saying to the referee, he didn't like the way he was pushing his gum shield out.
Yeah, it's never a good sign, that, especially when the fight is. I mean, whether that's down to inexperience with him not really having a gum shield in, or training much with a gum shield in. But I mean, saying that, I mean, if you're a boxer, it's part and parcel of the uniform,
Yes, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe it's ill-fitting, which again is no excuse.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad, like yourself, that our medics are on the ball. That's what they're here for. And he spent a lot of time talking to the cornerman and the ref about this, checking Ishtiaq's breathing, and that's really reassuring.
Yeah, I mean, the referee there just gave a warning to Ishtiaq Ahmed for holding on. I don't blame him, because he's clearly not comfortable where he is. So he's on survival mode here, and it's just a matter of time now. If he rides out this round and loses his decision, personally he's never got knocked out and he's done well. But ultimately, he's definitely things to work on in the gym there.
And as we said, if it's an ill-fitting gum shield, he needs to work on that. If not, you feel there is cardio issues here.
Yeah, certainly. Okay. Bit of bad blood there. I think there was a few hits there behind after the bell, but saying that, both guys embrace, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
And to be honest, a good performance from Khaleel Ashique. Worked Ishtiaq Ahmed out early, stuck to a game plan that worked for him. The roll and throw, as you said, the Tyson-style hooking, kept it at his range, and for him, that's 3 good rounds in the bag and a straightforward win.
Yeah, Khaleel Ashique knew exactly what he had to do and stuck to his game plan, and in my opinion, unofficially, I think he's taken that.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I make the official announcement, we have a Lamborghini blocking one of the entrances. The only thing I know for a fact is it's certainly not mine. So please, if you happen to have that Lamborghini, please remove it from the entrance. Now, back to business, please. Can we have a big round of applause for both your boxers in this ring? But we do have a unanimous decision. Our 3 judges in favour of the red corner.